So I'm going to ask you to give her the warmest welcome as we present Mara Menzies.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Thank you very, very much for having me here. And good to see some young people as well, some of the family people that I've prepared this session for. So for you guys who are older than children, then you have to reach into that juicy, creative, childish part of you and enjoy these stories. I'm going to tell my first story, which is a story from Kenya. And it's a very, very old story. It's a story from the beginning of time, when the world was a dark and miserable place. There was no color anywhere. It was all gray and brown and black and boring. And it was worse than that, because not only was there no color, there was no music. And what do you guys like to do when you hear a good tune? Can you just show me a little bit of your dancing? Oh yeah. Well, there was no dancing. And it was worse than that. There was no color, no music, no dancing. There were no stories and no songs and no jokes. And if we hear a good funny story, what do we like to do? There was no laughter either. It was terrible. Would you like to live somewhere like that? No, of course not. But, and there's always a but, there was somewhere else, high up in the heavens, and it was completely different. There was every single color that you could possibly imagine. Pinks, greens, oranges, yellows, gold and silver. And there were stories and songs, music, dancing, laughter all day long. There were two brothers who lived up there. The first brother was Sun. And who do you think Sun's brother was? Oh, you guys are good. Yes, Moon. Sun and Moon were brothers, and they loved each other. Oh, they adored each other. If they saw the other on the other side of the sky, they would race towards each other, and they would embrace. And every single day, they would spend the whole day together, eating, sleeping, dreaming, laughing, playing, having a wonderful time. But one day, as they were busy playing, soon they got bored, and they said, "We've run out of adventures, run out of things to do. What do you think we should do today?" And they puzzled over it, when suddenly they said, "Let's go somewhere that we have never been before." And they looked around the universe and they saw our dull, boring little planet. They said, "We've never been there. Let's go and check it out." So Sun, being the oldest, was going to go first. And he searched around the skies and he found a little heavenly spider. He took that spider and he threw it down to the ground. And then he grabbed that silver spider's web, and down, down, down he came. And when the people saw Sun, they could not believe their eyes. He was the most beautiful, colorful thing that they had ever seen. Reds, oranges, gold. He was beautiful. And the people, they went, "Wow!" What did they say? Oh, and Sun was so full of joy. Oh, thank you. But then it was time for Moon to come down. And he grabbed the silver spider's web, and down, down, down he came. And when the people saw Moon, they forgot about boring old Sun, because Moon looked nothing like how he looks now. Moon had every color that you could imagine. Purples, cyans, jades, electric blues. He shimmered, he sparkled, he twinkled, he glittered. Oh, the people were in awe. They shouted out, "You're beautiful, Moon." What did they say? Oh, thank you, thank you. And Moon let go of the silver spider's web, and off he went for little walks around the world. And when the people saw him approach, they shouted, "You're wonderful, Moon!" Oh, thank you. And even if he was a tiny little speck way on the horizon, the people were so excited to see him. They shouted, "You're magnificent, Moon!" Oh, Moon had never been happier. But while all this was going on, well, how was Sun feeling? Yeah, he was sad, he was jealous, absolutely, angry, lonely. He felt left out, and all of these feelings built up into a tight, hard knot deep inside his stomach. And he knew that he had to do something about his brother. He plotted, he planned, he waited for the perfect opportunity. And Moon, all of this walking around had made him quite sleepy. And so he stretched and he lay his head down and he fell asleep. And while he was asleep, Sun crept in behind him and stole every single one of his colors. He put them in a great big bag around his neck, and then he ran away to hide. And Moon had no idea that this had happened. So when he woke up, he went down to the river to wash his face. La 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 la. He saw his reflection. Oh no, where are my colors? My beautiful colors. They were right here. Oh, where have they gone? And he searched everywhere. Under bushes, behind the rocks. He even searched in amongst the trees, but there was no color to be found. And for 3 whole days, he cried and cried until there were no more tears left to cry. And then he thought, right, colors cannot simply just disappear. They have to be around here somewhere. I just need to look harder. And he decided to go on a journey to find his colors. Rangi o umeenda wapi? Rangi o umeenda wapi? Oh my colors, where have you gone? Where have you gone? He sang. He marched and he marched when he came to a great mountain. And at the top of that mountain, there was a cave. And he thought, maybe my colors are inside that cave. So he started to climb the mountain. And this is when I need your help. Can you say, no, 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 I haven't seen your colors? Perfect. But the way you say it is going to change. You just have to listen to the story. He climbed up that mountain, and as he approached the cave, he saw something moving around inside. Oh, he was filled with fear, but he thought, no, my colors might be in there. He got closer and closer. He saw something popping up in the shadows of the cave. Oh, but he went closer and closer, and then suddenly, it was a rat, but not any old rat. This rat was the most disgusting, grumpy, miserable, dirty, nasty old rat that you could imagine. But Moon asked the rat, excuse me, rat, have you seen my colors? But what did the rat say? Not bad, but you have to think about who is talking. You have to get into character for this. The nastiest, most miserable, grumpy, dirty, horrible old rat. Excuse me, rat, have you seen my colors? That was pretty good. But poor Moon, his colors were not in the cave. So he said thank you, and he waved goodbye to the rat, and off he went down the mountain. Rangi o umeenda wapi? Rangi o umeenda wapi? He came to the sea, a cold, gray-looking sea, and he thought, well, maybe my colors are at the bottom of the ocean. So he dived right in. When he started to swim about, he passed by hundreds of tiny little fish when coming towards him was something with great arms and legs, 8 of them, and it was an octopus, but not any old octopus. This octopus was the friendliest, happiest, most excited octopus in the world. And Moon asked the octopus, "Excuse me, octopus, have you seen my colors?" Not bad, but let's have more excitement. Have you seen my colors? Oh, perfect. But poor Moon, his colors were not in the sea. So he said thank you, he waved goodbye to the octopus, and he jumped out of the sea. And he walked on. Rangi o umeenda wapi? Rangi o umeenda wapi? He came to a village, and there didn't seem to be anybody there. They were all out working in the fields, and he was about to leave when he heard something. Ribbit. And it was a frog, but not any old frog. This frog had a very sore throat. And he asked the frog, "Excuse me, frog, have you seen my colors?" That was just perfect. But poor Moon, his colors were not in the village. So he said thank you, he waved goodbye, and off he went. He walked on until he came to a forest, and those big black branches reaching up into the sky filled him with fear. He trembled, he shook, but he needed to find those colors, so he made his way through. When suddenly, in the distance, he saw a bird. But this bird had the most beautiful, colorful feathers. It was flying through the trees. And he went over to the bird and asked, "Hey, bird, how come you have such beautiful, colorful feathers in this dark and miserable world?" And the bird answered, "Yesterday I was plain and ordinary, just like everything else. But then Sun came through the forest with a big bag of colors, and some of those colors, they landed on me, and that is why I look so colorful." Ta-da! But Moon was shocked. "Sun? My brother Sun took my colors?" Well, for those of you who have siblings, does anyone here have a brother or sister? Yeah? Let me ask you, has your brother or sister ever taken anything from you before? Yes? What? And have you ever taken anything from them? Yeah, what? This had never, ever happened to Moon before, and he needed to find his brother Sun. He stomped through that forest, searching everywhere, and he found him. Sun was hiding under the branches of a tall tree, and round his neck was a bag bulging, pulsing with colors. And Moon cried out, "Give me back my colors!" But Sun said, "No." Oh, and Moon, he grabbed hold of that bag of colors, and he tried to pull it from Sun's neck. But Sun was not willing to give them up so easily, and he held on. And for hours, days, weeks, there was an enormous tug of war between the two brothers. They heaved, they pulled, they stared each other in the eye, they grimaced, they were filled with rage, when suddenly the bag tore. A great hole opened and the colors began to spill out of the bag. They rolled away into the world and began to find new homes in the flowers and the fur of the animals, in the clothes that the people were wearing. They went everywhere, and Moon, he tried to catch just one color, but it was too late. They had all rolled away. And Sun, he realized what a terrible thing he had done, and he was afraid. And instead of facing up to Moon, he decided to run away. He raced as fast as he could, and he jumped up into the sky to escape from his brother. But Moon had seen him, and Moon was furious, and he raced after him, and he too jumped up into the sky. And to this day, if you look up into the sky on a nice clear day, you will sometimes still see Moon, and he is chasing his brother's sun all around the world. Thank you. Now, some people have another story about why that happens, but don't you listen to them, because this is the true story. So I'm going to tell another story. And this story is about a king. The king of all the birds. And who is that? The eagle, of course. And tell me, why is the eagle the king of all the birds? Okay, tell us. You have no idea? I thought you just said you knew everything. Okay, he's really big. That's a good one. Yeah? What are his feathers like? Nice little flappy wings? No, huge, enormous, powerful wings. What is on the end of the eagle's toes? Talons, perfect for seizing his prey. Have you ever seen an eagle with glasses? No, because the eagle's eyesight is perfect, spotting a tiny little rustle from when he was flying high up in the skies. And everybody here has seen an eagle, right? Yeah? Have you ever seen an eagle who is a bit shy or cowardly? No, you have not, because the eagle is a very proud and arrogant bird. The eagle believes that he is better than any other bird. And one day, the eagle called a meeting of the birds. And of course, when the king calls a meeting, you have to go. And so soon, the pelicans arrived, the sparrows were there, the parrots, the hawks, the owls came, the jays arrived, the pigeons showed up. All of them arrived, every single one. And as they were gathered there before the eagle stared at them all. Look at those useless wings. You pathetic. You ugly. You useless. No wonder I am the king of all the birds. But he had a question for them. All of you birds, big and small, who fly over the mountains and into the valleys, is there anybody here whose wings are more powerful than mine? Not a bird spoke, because they knew that the eagle's wings could keep him high in the sky for hours and hours. And the eagle was thrilled at this, delighted. Ha! I knew it. Yeah. Yuck. Awful. Horrible. Nasty. Rubbish, all of you. But he had another question. All of you birds, big and small, who fly over the mountains and into the valleys, is there anybody here whose voice is more powerful than mine? Well, what sound does the eagle make? No, not a mouse, an eagle. Let me hear it. A piercing shriek, and of course none of the birds replied, because they knew that that shriek could be heard miles and miles away. And the eagle was thrilled. Ha! I knew it. Look at you all. Waste of time being here. Oh, I can't believe I'm in the same species as you guys. But he had another question. All of you birds, big and small, who fly over the mountains and into the valleys, Is there anybody here who can fly higher than me? A tiny little voice said, I can. And when the eagle looked around and said, who said that? The tiny little voice said, I did. And his eye fell on a tiny little sparrow. Now, I need somebody small to help me here. Must be small is critical. Yep, okay, let me see. Stand up. Are you standing up? You're huge. I need somebody tiny. Who is the smallest person in this place? You're pretty small. Okay, so come on up. Yep, around here. Yeah, quick. I'm on a time limit here. Look at you, horrible, late, slow-moving little sparrow. Do you honestly think that you can fly higher than me, the mighty eagle? What? We're gonna see about that. Look at my powerful wings. And when the eagle showed off his wings, the sparrow jumped on his back. Ha. Now then, sparrow. Huh? Where have you gone? Huh? You're right here. Cowardly little sparrow has disappeared. Ha. I'm gonna fly anywhere. And the eagle. Oh, hold on tight. Oh, it's my shimmery, soft dress right here, feathers right here. So he began to fly until soon he was over the trees and he looked around. Ha! That disgusting creature could never get this high. Where are you, sparrow? Can you say, I'm above you?
I'm above you.
What? No! So he flew even higher until soon he was over the mountains. Revolting, foul little creature could never get this high. Where are you, sparrow?
I'm above you.
What? He flew even higher until soon he was above the clouds. And you know, the higher you get, the colder it gets. So can I see you all just shiver? Ooh. And where are you, sparrow?
I'm above you.
I don't believe it. He flew even higher when suddenly his wings froze and he started to fly until, boom, he landed with an enormous crash. And that was the end of the eagle. But all the birds cheered for the tiny little sparrow. Thank you all very, very much. Special thank you to the sparrow. Thank you very much. Thank you.